Hello and welcome to the MAC weather page for this Tuesday, September 11th. And again, never forget 9/11. And outside the window this morning, you can see a lot of dense fog. I can't see it in this picture, but very interesting. You can see the stars out up above with the dense fog layers down below. Very neat looking atmosphere out there this morning. And the headlines, sunshine right on through probably Monday. Our next chance of rain doesn't look like it'll arrive until Tuesday and maybe even Wednesday with a strong cold front that's going to really give us some fall temperatures. We may see quite a few days towards the second half of next week in the 60s, lows in the 40s, and may even see a couple of upper 30s sneak into the interior areas of mid-Michigan by later next week. But until then, sunshine and very warm conditions moving in. We'll see temperatures run about 10 degrees above normal for the second half of this week, right down through early next week, with a lot of temperatures around 80 or in the low 80s as it looks like right now. And of course, the biggest story is going to be Hurricane Florence. It's churning out in the Atlantic, heading right for the Carolinas and Virginia. And if we look at the next slide, you can see a farmer and his wife on a tractor. This was back in 1986. We picked up 9.33 inches of rain in one day and about 13 inches over about a 3 or 4 day period. That caused almost a third of $1 billion worth of losses here in the state of Michigan, agricultural losses, quite a bit more than that in other industries and infrastructure. Yesterday we had a high of 65 and a low of 55, and we had 3/100 of an inch of rain early with some light steady rain that kind of occurred off and on, kind of a drizzly type rain. And again, we're at 1.57 so far for the month and 23.38 inches so far for the year. Still running about 5 degrees above normal per day, so our very warm September continues, and we're going to increase these numbers here starting later tomorrow as we begin to warm up. Sunrise this morning is 7:13, sunset tonight 7:55, and about 12 hours and 42 minutes of daylight. We lost another 3 minutes. And if we look at conditions around the area, you can see the cool spot 48 degrees, temperatures in the low 50s for the most part. Warm spot 56 over at Marlette and Brown City, and you can see dense fog advisories. And again, we could see a few more counties add to that, and we'll go through this again tomorrow. But again, some patchy, very dense fog across all the areas, so do be careful out there on the roadways this morning. And if we look at the growing degree days, you can see well up there, there's not an issue with growing degree days this year, and we're going to add a whole lot more to that here over the next 2 weeks, especially for this time of year. Tomorrow I'll have several reports on comparison of other years, a little bit better illustrations on that, plus the 50% plant date update as well. So we'll have quite a few of those, and we'll also have a moisture update as well. So a lot of reports tomorrow coming out. And if we look at the satellite view, we have our system that moved through the area. Initially at the beginning of this loop was the remnants of Gordon that moved off to the northeast, and you can see we're in high pressure, and that's not going anyplace. Anything that comes in from the west will dissipate, and as we have a lot of dry air in place. So again, lots of sunshine here over the next 5 days. As far as the latest 5 a.m. hurricane update from the National Hurricane Center, again, the central pressure is at 944 millibars. If you get a home barometer, 27.87, and that remains unchanged from the last update, as does the sustained winds at 140 miles per hour. And you can see the track of this is going to take it right up towards Williamston, North Carolina, and it's the area of northeast North Carolina into southern Virginia I'm very concerned about, not only with the winds and the surge, but the extremely heavy rainfall in this area. Could be over 20 inches in some areas. Some of the models output about 3 feet of rain in some localized areas. So again, this is going to be a very devastating storm for much of the northern 2/3 of North Carolina, and not to take anything away from South Carolina as well. This whole area is going to get blasted pretty good, but again, it's this northeast portion that I'm worried about into southern Virginia as well. As far as again, some of the rainfall, you can see over 20 inches of rain in this area and 15 to 20 inches in some of these pink areas. But again, anywhere within this area, you really will have to watch out for localized excessive rainfall that could really cause a lot of damaging flooding. Overnight, you can see the hurricane churning away, spinning as it heads towards the Carolinas to the east, northeast, or rather to the west, northwest rather. And again, it's moving about 14 miles per hour. And again, it looks like landfall is going to occur about 2 a.m. somewhere around that area on Friday morning. So not a good time of a night during the nighttime hours for a landfall hurricane. So again, that will only add to certainly the fear factor, no doubt. On the weather map this morning, you can see high pressure system across the Great Lakes, and this isn't going anywhere. You can see over the next 3 days, we're going to have lots of sunshine here in the Great Lakes and pleasant temperatures in the upper 70s to the low 80s moving in by Thursday. Again, the forecasted rainfall, nothing here for the Great Lakes back into the Corn Belt, but again, all the action is going to be with Hurricane Florence here over the next 5 days. As far as our forecast goes, very, very good forecast. Other than the fog the next couple of mornings, be careful, but we expect lots of sunshine, warming temperatures getting up into the low 80s as we get into the weekend, and overnight lows also rising. We'll see humidity and dew points on the increase over the weekend as well, as our dew points will climb back into the 60s. Thanks for stopping by and have yourself a great day, and 73s to all.